All right, example 2, using the rational zero theorem. So we want to find all real zeros of f of x equals 6x to the fourth plus 7x cubed minus 19x squared minus 5x plus 6. So to list all the possible rational zeros, we have to do the p over q again. So p over q. P is factors of the constant term. Q is factors of the leading coefficient. All right, so our constant term is 6. Our leading coefficient is 6. Okay. All right, so now we're going to write out all of their factors. So we only need to do this once because, luckily for us, our constant term and our leading coefficient is the same number. All right, so all of the factors of 6 are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, and plus or minus 6. We still have to include the plus or minus here because you could have a positive 1 and a positive 6, or a negative 1 and a negative 6. So the plus or minus will account for that. All right, so now we have to make sure we match up every number with all of the other numbers. Okay, so let's start with 1. We got plus or minus 1 over 1. Then we need to do 2, plus or minus 2 over 1. 3, plus or minus 3 over 1. And 6, plus or minus 6 over 1. All right, then we also need to do plus or minus 1 over 2, plus or minus 3 over 2. We could do plus or minus 2 over 2, but 2 over 2 is just 1, and we already have that represented right here. Okay, so we don't need to repeat anything. All right, now we're going to move to 3, so plus or minus 1 over 3, plus or minus 2 over 3. Okay, and we don't need to put plus or minus 3 over 3 for the same reason we don't need to put plus or minus 2 over 2. It's just 1. All right, then the last one we need is plus or minus 1 over 6. We don't need to do plus or minus 2 over 6, because if you reduce that, you get 1 over 3, which is already listed. And if we do plus or minus 3 over 6, that would just be 1 over 2, which is also already listed. Okay, so we have all of the possible rational zeros here. So now we're going to choose values to check by using our graphing calculator, and then we can check using synthetic division, or use synthetic division to get our quotient polynomial. All right, so this is how you use your calculator. You would try to do this. Okay. You would go to y equals. Okay. Type in your polynomial. So we have 6. And this calculator is, it looks like the new version, but it's really the old version. That's why I have to use that caret button and parentheses. Okay, 6x to the fourth plus 7x cubed minus 19x squared minus 5x plus 6. All right, double check I have everything right. All right. All right, then I'm going to change my window so that I can put in some of these fractions so I can plug them in for x. I don't have to just use the table that's given to me. So I'm going to hit second window so I can change the table. I'm going to change my independent from auto to ask. hit enter. Now, when I go to my table, it should be blank, but that allows me to plug in all of my rational zeros. So I'm just going to start with 1, hit enter. Okay, if I get back a number like -5, then I know that 1 is not a 0. I'm looking for 0 in y1. Okay, if I get a 0 here, then I know I found a 0 to f of x. All right, then 2. Oh wait, let's do -1 first. Uh-oh. Stop it. -1. Okay, still nothing. Then 2. Okay. Then we're going to do -2. Then 3. Then we're going to do -3. And you would just go on like this, so on and so on until you found zeros. Now, I happen to know that -2/3 is a 0, so let's try that. -2 divided by 3. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay, -2 divided by 3. So you see I get a 0 right here under y1. That means that's a 0 of the polynomial. All right, I also know that 1/2 is a 0. So I'm going to do 1 divided by 2. And I should get 0 in y1. All right, so I also get a 0 there. And it's run out of space, so that's why the 2/3 went away. But we know that -2/3 and 1/2 are zeros. -2/3 and 1/2. All right, and let's write those calculated steps down. After entering the equation in y1, go to second window, change independent to ask, and then plug the numbers in your table. Okay. All right, so you can find all of the rational zeros this way, but I want to tell you guys something. Make sure you keep in mind that all zeros do not have to be rational. There will come a time where you have a complex zero, just like you do when you solve using quadratic formula or completing a square. And you can only do that, you can only find that zero by doing quadratic formula or completing the square. Okay, you can't use your calculator for that. All right, so to check the value using synthetic division, we're going to, they already set everything up for us, so we're going to drop down and multiply. So drop the 6 down. 6 times -2/3 is -4. Drop that down, that's going to be 3. Multiply, 3 times -2/3 is -2. Drop it down, you get -21. -21 times -2/3 is 14. Drop that down, you get 9. And then multiply again, you get -6. Drop that down, you get 0. So -2/3 is a 0. We also know 1/2 is a 0. So you could do synthetic division again to get the 1/2. In this case, we're going to have to do that. So I'm going to do it over here on the side. and our resulting polynomial will be 6 x cubed plus 3x squared minus 21x plus 9. We're going to use the coefficient 6, 3, negative 21, and 9. And we're going to do synthetic division again. Alright, so drop this down. Get 6. 6 times 1/2 is 3. Drop that down, you get 6. 6 times 1/2 is 3. Drop this down, you get negative 18. Negative 18 times 1/2 is negative 9, and you get 0. Alright, so now you have 6x squared plus 6x minus 18. Alright, so far, you have 3x plus 2. Oh, I'm not sorry. Not 3x plus 2. You have x plus 2/3 times x minus 1/2 times our resulting polynomial, which is 6x squared plus 6x minus 18. Alright, so when you get down to 6x squared plus 6x minus 18, and you try to find the rational zeros, you'll see that none of the other rational zeros will work. So we can pull that up in our calculator. Okay. But just to make sure, I will show you guys. So let's clear this out. You have 6x squared plus 6x minus 18. Then we'll go to our table. Okay. We already know negative 2/3 and 1/2. So if we try any of these other ones, like 1, negative 1, 2, negative 2, 3, negative 3. Okay, we already see those don't work. And let's try 3/2. And that doesn't work. Let's try 1/3. And 1/6. And you can try the negative versions of those too, but they will not work. So they won't give you zeros. So the only option we have here is now to do the quadratic formula or complete the square. Okay. Alright, so the steps here, it just says repeat the steps above, which is what we did for g of x. Any zero of g will also be a zero of f. Okay, and that's what we just found out here because we saw that none of the other zeros would work for 6x squared plus 6x minus 18. Let me show you guys really fast that it will work, that negative 2/3 should work for them. Let me see, negative 2 divided by 3. Okay, that one doesn't work. But any zeros that are a zero of f should be a zero of g. And then we just need to do the quadratic formula to find the rest of